Let us begin with analysis of prescribed drama text. This is a very important topic in literature in English. It appears in your exams every single year. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how to analyze a drama, including plot, character, setting, theme, style, and dramatic techniques, using a sample analysis, and how to answer exam questions. For this lesson, we will use Wole Soyinka's The Lion and the Jewel as our sample text. Take your notes. Let us go. First, let me give you background on The Lion and the Jewel. Wole Soyinka wrote The Lion and the Jewel in 1959. He is Nigeria's first Nobel Prize winner. The play is a comedy. It is set in the village of Ilujinla, Nigeria. The play explores the clash between tradition and modernity. It is one of the most widely studied African plays. The title refers to the main characters. The lion is Baroka, the old Baal or village chief. The jewel is Sidi, the village beauty. The play has 3 scenes. It covers one day. Now let me explain the plot of The Lion and the Jewel. The play begins in the morning at the village market. Lakunle is the schoolteacher. He is young and educated. He believes in Western ways. He wants to marry Sidi, the village beauty. He tries to impress her with big words. He speaks about modernization, progress, and civilization. But he refuses to pay the bride price. He says it is backward. Sidi laughs at him. She says he is a fool. She wants a proper husband who will pay the bride price. Lakunle argues that love is more important than money. Sidi does not agree. The villagers come to the market. They carry a magazine. The magazine has pictures of Sidi. A traveling photographer took her picture. The magazine is called The Drum. It is a famous magazine. Sidi is famous now. She has become a celebrity. She is even more proud. Lakunle warns her to be careful. He says the village chief, Baroka, will try to take her. Sidi says she is not afraid. She says Baroka is an old man. She says she can handle him. Later, the village dancers perform. Baroka watches from afar. He wants Sidi, but he cannot approach her directly. He is the chief. He must be strategic. The second scene takes place in Baroka's palace. It is evening. Baroka is lying on a mat. He is having a wrestling match with his favorite wife, Sadiku. Baroka wins. He reveals that he is not as old as everyone thinks. He tells Sadiku that he wants to marry Sidi. Sadiku is surprised. She thinks Baroka is too old. Baroka says he can still take a young wife. He asks Sadiku to help him. He gives her a plan. She must go to Sidi and tell her that Baroka has become weak. He can no longer perform as a man. Sadiku agrees. The third scene takes place in the village. It is evening. Sadiku goes to Sidi. She tells Sidi that Baroka is impotent. He can no longer have children. Sidi laughs. She is delighted. She feels safe. She decides to mock Baroka. She goes to his palace. She plans to laugh at him, but when she arrives, Baroka is not weak. He has prepared a trap. He shows her a stamp. He has invented a stamp. He demonstrates how it works. Sidi is impressed. She has never seen anything like it. Baroka tells her that he wants her to be his wife. He offers her a life of comfort and honor. Sidi is tempted. She agrees to marry him. She tells Baroka that she is a virgin. Baroka is pleased. The play ends with Baroka and Sidi's wedding. Lakunle is forced to dance. He is humiliated. He still refuses to pay the bride price. Sadiku and the other women mock him. Now let me explain the major characters in The Lion and the Jewel. Baroka is the protagonist. He is the Baal of Ilujinle. He is old but strong. He is cunning and strategic. He uses tricks to get what he wants. He pretends to be weak to lure Sidi. He presents himself as a traditionalist, but he is also progressive. He is building a railway. He has invented a stamp. He balances tradition and modernity. He wins in the end. He gets Sidi. He defeats Lakunle. Sidi is the jewel. She is the village beauty. She is vain and proud. She becomes famous when her picture appears in a magazine. She uses her beauty to get attention. At first, she dismisses Baroka as an old man. She prefers Lakunle's youth. But she is attracted to Baroka's power and cunning. She chooses to marry him. By the end, she has become a woman. She has accepted her role. Lakunle is the antagonist. He is the school teacher. He is young and educated. He embraces Western ways. He criticizes village traditions. He refuses to pay the bride price. He speaks in long, complicated sentences. But he is also a fool. He is selfish. He wants Sidi, but he will not pay for her. He is arrogant. He thinks he is superior to the villagers. But he is also weak. He cannot defeat Baroka. He is humiliated at the end. Sadiku is Baroka's favorite wife. She is older and experienced. She is loyal to Baroka. She carries out his plan. She tricks Sidi into going to Baroka's palace. She is also a comic character. She dances and sings when she thinks Baroka is weak. She celebrates his supposed impotence. But she is also wise. She knows how men operate. Now let me explain the setting of The Lion and the Jewel. The play is set in the village of Ilujinle, Nigeria. The time is not specified. It could be the 1950s or 1960s. The physical settings include the village marketplace, the road near the school, and Baroka's palace. The marketplace is the center of village life. It is where people gather, trade, and gossip. The school represents modernity. It is where Lakunle teaches English and Western ideas. Baroka's palace represents tradition. It is where the chief lives and makes decisions. The social setting is a traditional Yoruba village. The villagers value custom, respect for elders, and the bride price. They also value the chief. Baroka has power and authority. Lakunle challenges this authority. He is an outsider. He is educated. He does not respect the chief. The play explores the tension between tradition and modernity. Now let me explain the themes in The Lion and the Jewel. The main theme is the clash between tradition and modernity. Lakunle represents modernity. He speaks English. He wears Western clothes. He wants to modernize the village. He rejects the bride price. Baroka represents tradition. He values custom. He respects the role of the chief. He pays the bride price. He keeps the village together. The play does not simply praise tradition or modernity. Both have strengths and weaknesses. Baroka is cunning. He uses tricks. But he also builds a railway. He invents a stamp. He is not completely opposed to progress. Lakunle wants to modernize, but he is selfish. He will not pay the bride price. He wants Sidi for free. The play suggests that progress must respect tradition. It cannot simply reject the past. Another theme is the role of women. Sidi is the jewel. She is the object of desire. Men fight over her. She has agency. She chooses Baroka. She does not have to marry Lakunle. She exercises her choice. But her choice is limited. She can only choose between men. Sadiku represents the older woman. She has accepted her role. She serves her husband. She is loyal. She also mocks men when they are weak. She dances when she thinks Baroka is impotent. The play shows women as powerful and powerless at the same time. Another theme is the power of cunning and strategy. Baroka wins not by force but by intelligence. He tricks Sidi into coming to his palace. He impresses her with his stamp. He offers her a life of honor. He outsmarts Lakunle. The play suggests that wisdom and patience are more valuable than youthful energy. Another theme is the bride price. Lakunle refuses to pay the bride price. He calls it backward. Sidi insists on it. She says it shows that a man values his wife. The bride price is a tradition. It is not simply buying a woman. It is a sign of respect and commitment. The play defends the bride price as a meaningful custom. Another theme is education and ignorance. Lakunle is educated. He knows big words, but he is ignorant of village customs. He does not understand the people he wants to lead. The villagers are not educated in the Western sense, but they are not ignorant. They know their customs. They know their chief. They know how to survive. Education without wisdom is useless. Now let me explain the style and dramatic techniques in The Lion and the Jewel. Soyinka uses comedy. The play is funny. The characters are exaggerated. Lakunle's speeches are ridiculously long. Sadiku's dance of victory is comic. The audience laughs at the characters. But the comedy also has serious points. It criticizes both tradition and modernity. The humor makes the criticism more acceptable. Soyinka uses contrast. He contrasts Lakunle and Baroka, youth versus age, education versus wisdom, modernity versus tradition, words versus action. The contrast highlights the conflict in the play. Soyinka uses dramatic irony. The audience knows that Baroka is not weak. Sidi does not know. She goes to his palace thinking she is safe. The audience knows she is walking into a trap. This creates suspense and humor. Soyinka uses symbolism. The lion represents Baroka. He is powerful, cunning, and strong. The jewel represents Sidi. She is beautiful, valuable, and desired. The stamp represents progress. Baroka has invented a stamp. It is a modern device. He uses it to impress Sidi. The stamp shows that tradition can embrace progress. The railway represents modernity. Baroka is building a railway. He is not opposed to change, but he wants change on his own terms. The magazine represents the outside world. Sidi's picture appears in the drum magazine. She becomes famous. The magazine brings modernity to the village, but it also creates vanity and pride. Soyinka uses language to distinguish characters. Lakunle speaks in bombastic, exaggerated English. He uses big words incorrectly. His speeches are long and tedious. He sounds ridiculous. Baroka speaks simply and directly. He uses proverbs and traditional wisdom. His words are effective. He does not need many words. Sadiku speaks in a mix of English and Yoruba. She represents the ordinary villager. The different languages distinguish the characters and their worldviews. Now let me explain how to answer exam questions on The Lion and the Jewel. A common exam question asks you to discuss the character of Lakunle. Here is a sample answer. Lakunle is the schoolteacher in The Lion and the Jewel. He represents modernity. He speaks English. He wears Western clothes. He wants to modernize the village. He criticizes the bride price. He wants to marry Sidi without paying. But he is also a fool. He is selfish. He wants Sidi for free. He is arrogant. He thinks he is superior to the villagers. He is also weak. He cannot defeat Baroka. He is humiliated at the end. Soyinka uses Lakunle to criticize the uncritical embrace of Western culture. Another exam question asks you to discuss the theme of tradition versus modernity in The Lion and the Jewel. Here is your answer. The theme of tradition versus modernity is central to The Lion and the Jewel. Lakunle represents modernity. He wants to modernize the village. He rejects the bride price. He speaks English. He wants to build a school and a road. Baroka represents tradition. He values custom. He respects the chief's role. He pays the bride price. But the play does not simply praise tradition. Baroka is cunning. He uses tricks. He also builds a railway. He invents a stamp. He is not opposed to progress. Lakunle wants to modernize, but he is selfish and foolish. The play suggests that progress must respect tradition. Change should be balanced. A simple rejection of the past is not wise. Another exam question asks you to discuss the role of women in The Lion and the Jewel. Here is your answer. Women in The Lion and the Jewel have limited but significant roles. Sidi is the village beauty. She is the object of desire. Men fight over her. She has agency. She chooses to marry Baroka. She exercises her choice, but her choice is limited to marriage. Sadiku is Baroka's favorite wife. She is loyal to her husband. She carries out his plan. She also mocks men when they are weak. She dances when she thinks Baroka is impotent. The play shows women as powerful and powerless at the same time. They influence events, but they remain within traditional roles. Here is what you need to take away. The Lion and the Jewel by Wole Soyinka is a comedy about tradition and modernity. The plot follows Baroka, Lakunle, and Sidi in their competition for love and power. Major characters include Baroka, Lakunle, Sidi, and Sadiku. The setting is the village of Ilujinle, Nigeria. Themes include tradition versus modernity, the role of women, cunning and strategy, the bride price, and education versus ignorance. Soyinka uses comedy, contrast, dramatic irony, symbolism, and distinct language. Understanding The Lion and the Jewel is essential for your literature exams. Practice these concepts. When you have them down, move to Topic 3.